my channel. First things first, let's get all the boring stuff out of the way. If you're not already, please subscribe because I would love to see you back again. So today I'm going to do a makeup tutorial, and I thought what better one to do than my most popular video I've ever uploaded. People seem to love it. It's a Sam Faiers makeup tutorial. Now people say a lot I look a bit like her, so maybe that's why people are clicking, but I thought why not use my face, if it looks a bit like hers, to do a makeup tutorial that she recently wore to the BAFTAs. So the makeup tutorial is a bit glam because obviously she's going to an awards ceremony, a little bit of a brown smoky eye. So I have already moisturised my skin, so I'll start off by just priming. And I am just going to use the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. I hope the light's alright, guys. It's like one of those days where the sun is just going in and out of the cloud, so hopefully it will be okay. I'm going to pop this on, especially around where you've got any visible pores, maybe around your nose, all those sorts of areas. Okay, once that's done, as you can see, I suffer with redness from my rosacea and a little cheeky spot appeared this morning, so I'm going to go in with a green concealer. So I've got this palette from Sleek, and it's got all the different contrasting colours to get rid of any redness or if you've got dark circles, etc. So I'm going to go in with the green here. If you hear any noise, the cat's here. He doesn't like being away from me. I'm actually just going to pop this on with my finger onto any redness. So once that's on, I just use a beauty blender to dab it into the skin. And that just counteracts some of the redness before we pop any concealer on. So concealer, I'm just using the NYX Full Coverage Concealer. I always like to use concealers that come in a pot or that are in like a squeezy tube. I find if I use ones with an applicator that goes back in for any areas where you might be prone to spots or anything, I feel like the bacteria is going back in. I feel like I suffer a lot more with breakouts when I use those, so I just like to use these ones because I feel like the bacteria doesn't go back in the pot. And I'm going to pop the concealer on anywhere I've got that redness. This side of my face always suffers worse from my rosacea. I don't know why. It's always the right side of my face. Then back in with the beauty blender and just work that into the skin. And foundation wise, I'm going to use one of my favourites, which is the YSL Touche Éclat. I just like it because it's not too heavy, but it's still very glowy. I'm just going to use the Bobbi Brown foundation brush to just work that in. Once that's on, I'm going to use my Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer for under the eyes, and just use a fluffy brush to blend that in. And then what I like to do is just go back with the concealer and just pop that on anywhere that needs a little more. The joys of filming, my battery just ran out halfway through and I've actually just closed the blind, so I hope you can still see. It's so dark outside, but I have got the light, so fingers crossed you can still see. So foundation on, concealer on. I then go on to the eyes, as I like to come back to the base afterwards. So as I said, eyes were quite smoky with a brown, so we'll do that. So I'm going to start off with a light neutral, and I'm going to go into the Naked palette, which is battered completely, as it has been my favourite palette ever. And I'm just going to use this first one here, which is called Virgin. I'm just going to pop that on. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit while we do the eyes. I'm going to start with my MAC palette, and I'm going to use, I think it's, Satin Taupe, which is this shimmery light brown colour. And then I'm just going to use a MAC fluffy brush just to do that on the outer edge. Here we go, so we've just got that light brown on there. I then want to go in with a darker brown again, so I'm going to use back to the makeup palette, and I'm going to use Dark Horse. I'm going to use the same brush, but this time not go as far into my eyelid, stay more on the outer corner again. And then finally an even deeper brown, and this is, let's have a look, back to my MAC palette, and this is Smut. Why do they use these names for eyeshadows? And for this, I'm just going to use this more pointed brush so I get more precision. And this is going to go on the very outer corner. Okay, and then back to the fluffy brush, and we're just going to blend all of that together. And then slightly above the crease. Got this annoying little bit of hair, isn't it? Doing anything. As you can see, that's all blending together nicely. And the same on the other eye. Don't worry too much at this stage because we can always clean it up afterwards. Perfect, so I'm just going to tidy up the eyes a little bit with some concealer. Just pop that right underneath the eye there. And then I'm going to go back to the original brush we used above the crease and just again use a lighter colour. I'm going to use Shroom from MAC. And just use that as well to just blend that crease colour. Okay, and then we're going to pop some liner on. So my favourite liner, and the one I've been using for the past, I'd say 18 months, is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof, easy for me to say, liquid liner. And I love this because I just love the applicator. It just makes doing a winged liner so easy. For this look, she doesn't have too much of a wing, so we'll just do a very small one. And then I just need to go down here to do the flick because I cannot hold a mirror and do this. Okay, so that's done. As you can see, I've just done a little flick, so now I'm going to do the same on the other side. So while I wait for the eyeliner to dry, I always like to make sure it's perfectly dry before I do anything else on the eyes. I'm going to do brow. And my favourite brow product is the Anastasia Dipbrow. And it looks like this. And I just apply this using a small angled brush. Let me just see what her brows are like for this look. Quite structured and quite full and dark, so we'll do that. I just like to pop the brush in and then just put it on the back of my hand, just so you get enough product into the brush. And then I like to start by drawing the line underneath the brow to get the beginning of the shape. Like so, and then I can do the top and then fill it in. I just love using this because you get such a precise brow, which is so nice for like an evening out. There we go, and then we can do the same on the other eye. Obviously, if you don't like your brows as dark, then you could just use a brow pencil for a more natural look. I'm then going to set it in place using the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. You can just brush this through your brows and back to that dark brown, and just really pack that into the crease, and then just keep blending until you get the amount of smokiness that you want. I think that might actually be enough because her eyes aren't too dark. I nearly just dropped everything. So then we just want to lighten up the inner part of the eye and under the brow. She's got quite a light colour in the inner corner, so I might actually use this light pink, and this is Naked Lunch. And then I'm just going to use a flat eyeshadow brush. Let's just pop that in the inner corner and to the centre. And again, just a quick blend so there's no harsh lines. Okay, and then in the very inner corner and in the tear duct, let's go for Nylon, and we'll just use a tiny little brush there. She's got a slight reddy tone in the crease. So I'm going to use a tiny bit of cranberry, like smallest amount, so you get that little hint of warmth. Under the eyes, hardly anything at all. I think she's just got a tiny bit of liner. So I'm just going to pop a little liner in the outer corner. That will do. And onto lashes. So in this look she's wearing false lashes because it's quite a dramatic BAFTA award ceremony look. So let's start by curling our lashes. And then I always like to put the lashes on first before using any mascara, as I just find it easier. So I'm going to use the Ardell Demi Wispies, which are my favourite lashes. So I like to just bend them for a little while, just so they're more the shape of your eye. And then I pop the glue on the back of my hand, like so. And then dip a little bit on there and then just add it to the lash. Apologise if you can hear Star Trek music. My husband in there, he is obsessed with Star Trek. And then, this is great for applying lashes, by the way. They look like eyelash curlers, but they're tweezers that you can really hold onto the lash and then pop it on. So pop the middle bit on first, like so, and then you can just pull the outer edges on, like that. There we go. And then the same with the other side. And once both sets of lashes are on, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of mascara. You won't hardly need any, I'm just going to go at the very root. This mascara is my all-time favourite, the False Lash Telescopic by L'Oreal. I've got really sensitive eyes and some mascaras I have a reaction with, so I like to stick to what I know. And then we'll just pop a little bit on the bottom. Okay, eyes are done, so let's go back to the face. I always like to see where I might need a bit more foundation or concealer and then go back and do that. So I'll go back to my YSL foundation from earlier and just pop that wherever I need a little bit of extra coverage. My nose is always red. What is that about? And I'm just going to blend that in. Skin wise, she hasn't got a whole lot on, to be honest. A little bit of bronzer, so I'll just use a fluffy contouring brush, just pop a little bit. I don't want a lot though, like I say, she hasn't got a lot on her skin. And then just a very muted blush. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use Tenderling by MAC. It's a corally nude blush. Little blusher brush. Like so. And then just use a little bit of highlighter, not too much. Let's go for this sleek highlighting palette. I'm just going to use this one here. Get a little fan brush. Just on the tops of the cheeks. And then lips is a really muted peachy pink. So I'm going to use this, and it's by Burt's Bees actually, and this is just a nude. There we go, that's it. My Sam Faiers BAFTA inspired makeup look. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you later, and